Welcome back to Hymn Talk, where we discuss old hymns and sacred songs that are dear to us and encourage us. And recently, in a previous episode, I mentioned narrative recitations, spoken words to music instead of actually singing. And I think it was the first verse of Amazing Grace. I did a narrative recitation to a simple three chord in the key of D. And I have a few friends, mostly internet friends, who I consider them my earthly guardian angels. They're my elder brothers in the faith, and they kind of look after me, even though some of us have not even met. And I like to play with words, either make up songs or write short stories. And occasionally I write a short story or dig up one on an old computer that I wrote many years ago. That's a little racy in content, PG-13, if you will. And I would post these short stories, kind of re-edit them for the modern era and to reflect trends in technology like the internet, and post them on social networking. Well, of course, my brothers in the faith, my earthly guardian angels, some of them would either text me or email me and say, "Hey, that ain't cool. That's just not appropriate. That's fleshly. That's carnal. That's contrary to your calling." And I would promptly delete the social media post of my short story or like a comical song or something like that. And if the post had already been commented on the particular social network platform, preventing me from deleting it outright, I would delete the content and with an apology to any and all offended. And so when in the last episode where I was discussing narrative recitations, uh, I talked about what is a narrative recitation, a spoken word interlude in a song, or in fact the whole song, just spoken word instead of singing. And then one of my elder brothers in the faith, earthly guardian angels, if you will, contacted me and said, "You're talking about not singing, and there you go whistling." Well, I like to whistle. Like I've said before, I'm as bucktooth as a groundhog, and I just like to whistle. And I mainly did it in that. I'm a little rusty on the banjo, and I've just picked it up and starting to relearn it. And I was using that whistling of the melody of Amazing Grace to kind of get on key, to get on pitch with the banjo. So that's my explanation. My elder brother in the faith, earthly guardian angel, if you will, he was in the opinion that I was being hypocritical by talking the words of Amazing Grace and then whistling along with it. You know, if you're gonna whistle, you might as well just sing it. You know, so that was his point, and I see his point. I don't fully agree, but I have to take their advice because they're so they look after me. But anyway, we were discussing that narrative recitation, and I picked back up the banjo and relearning it. Like I mentioned before, the long neck, when my arm stretched out, and the wide fret spacing is taking some getting used to when I've gotten lazy and been using that little 3-string toy guitar with a short neck and short and narrow neck and very close fret spacing. My favorite instrument to play with is the 3-string cigar boxes. Very primitive instruments. And they have a high string clearance above the frets. Some of them don't even have frets at all and are made for solely playing with a slide in an open tuning. But the most of the ones I have, the cigar box guitars with 3 strings, are fretted like other stringed instruments, and they're still intended to be played in an open tuning. Well, I just never been able to get my fingers around that open tuning, either with a slide or actually chording. But so I tune them G, B, E, like the high strings of a 6-string guitar, and which is a pseudo open E minor. So it's still an open tuning, but it's an open E minor instead of a major tuning like G or D or E. And it greatly, there's no learning curve. You just, if you already know how to play a 6-string guitar in E, A, D, G, B, E tuning, you just pick up a cigar box guitar with 3 strings with a G, B, E tuning, and you just ignore the 3 strings that are missing. Your low 3 strings are missing. Your E, A, and D are not on there. So you have the G, B, E. So it's just an instant. There's no learning curve. You just pick it up and you start playing it. And that greatly simplifies the chords that are difficult for a beginner on the 6-string are just 1 and 2 fingers on the 3-string. And anyway, I picked. Long story short, I picked back up the banjo and tried to relearn it. And in that narrative recitation, we did the first verse of Amazing Grace. I want to try to do another verse. It's taking me just a second to get my thought process, get my thoughts garnered. Well, that didn't work out well. Pardon that. That was I broke out into the old rugged cross instead of Amazing Grace. It was grace that taught my heart to fear, and it's grace those fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear, Yahweh, I first believed. And as you can hear, I'm still rusty on the banjo in this key of D with the long neck and my arms stretched out, going from G to A7. A or A7 is kind of awkward. I have to kind of twist my wrist just a little bit, so that's why I missed keeping in time there on going from G to A7. But anyway, that's some more of my narrative recitations of old hymns. In this case, the most beloved, Amazing Grace. And to my elder brother in the faith who looks after me, I apologize for the hypocrisy of whistling melodically and then just speaking the words to him. That's a contradiction. But I just needed to get on key. That's the only reason I whistled, to kind of get in the groove of the song and to get on key. Because I normally play that in the key of G, so playing it in the key of D, I had to get my ear on track. So that was the purpose of whistling, and to get the melody in my. Since I wasn't playing, I was just cross picking, in kind of claw hammer fashion. I was not exactly including the hammer-ons and pull-off where you get the melodic essence of the song. So when you start rolling a banjo in G tuning, you start, if you're playing Amazing Grace or a song in the key of G, you just start rolling the open G without any of the left hand on the frets, and then you hit the notes, that the melodic notes. You play the melodic essence of the song in between the chords, in amongst and in between the chords. And I'm just not very good at that at all. I can pick out on one string the melody, or I can just play rhythmically the chord progression. And that's just my limitations. I'm not much of a banjoist or a guitarist. But anyway, that was the purpose of me whistling, was to kind of get on the groove of the tune and to get on pitch in that key of D, which I'm used to hearing Amazing Grace in the key of G, so I had to get on the right key. Anyway, pardon my droning on and on. Thank you for listening. God bless you in Jesus' name.